A Himars strike hit a concentration of enemy forces at a training ground in the occupied part of the Zaporizhia region. According to Ukraine's main intelligence directorate, the location was identified using reconnaissance drones. The concentration of enemy personnel was detected by the defense intelligence soldiers, and they decided to add a practical component to the Muscovites, the intelligence representatives stated. Reconnaissance drones had been monitoring the Russians' movements at the training ground for some time before the attack. When the Russians stopped near the cars, a single missile by a Himars rocket launcher landed near them. The intelligence added that due to the strike on the training ground, 7 invaders were eliminated. 3 died immediately, and 4 more died of wounds. The invaders did not pass the test. The Russian platoon suffered losses in killed and seriously wounded, whom, however, no one was in a hurry to save, the defense intelligence officials added. Presumably, the Ukrainian artillerymen used only 1 shell because they tried to immediately change positions to avoid being detected by Russian reconnaissance. The Ukrainian defense forces often attack Russian training grounds on the territory of Ukraine and Russia. In early November, an attack drone attacked a Russian military tent city on the territory of a training ground in the Rostov Oblast. CBS, ABC News, and the BBC, citing anonymous Western officials, report that Russia did not strike Ukraine with an intercontinental ballistic missile. Instead, the mentioned media outlets claim that it was a medium-range ballistic missile. However, under the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, Russia was obligated to eliminate all medium-range ballistic missiles under U.S. supervision. The U.S. was required to do the same in return. Surely, the Russians couldn't have violated the treaty. Putin confirmed strikes using Western missiles on military targets in Russia's Bryansk and Kursk regions. The conflict in Ukraine has taken on a global dimension after the Western missile strike on Russia. Russian media quote Putin as saying. He also claimed that Russia launched an attack on Dnipro, allegedly using a ballistic missile Oreshnik in a non-nuclear hypersonic configuration. Russia did not notify the U.S. or other countries about the use of the Oreshnik missile, as stated by Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated. According to him, Russia has no such obligations because the launched ballistic missile was of medium range.
In response to the use of American and British long-range weapons on November 21st of this year, the Russian armed forces launched a combined strike on one of the defense industrial complex facilities in Ukraine. Under combat conditions, testing was conducted on one of the latest Russian medium-range missile systems, featuring a ballistic missile equipped with non-nuclear hypersonic capabilities. Our missile engineers named it Oreshnik. The tests were successful. The launch objective was achieved.
Russia's missile launch will not deter our policy toward Ukraine. We will continue to aid Ukraine and put them in the best possible position on the battlefield, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre confirmed.
We are aware of Russia's launch of an intermediate-range ballistic missile against Ukraine. Ukraine has withstood countless attacks from Russia. We have seen that repeatedly over the past more than 2 years now. We briefed Ukraine and our close allies, partners in recent days to help them prepare.
Putin has been playing nuclear gamble all along since the start of the full invasion of Ukraine. Such attacks as the one this morning is yet another sign of Putin's escalation, showing he is not interested in peace, EU spokesperson Peter Stano said.
It's obvious that such attacks would mark yet another clear escalation from the side of Putin. And over the last period of time, we haven't been actually lacking signs of further escalation of the conflict by Putin.
And let's get back to the battlefields. A destroyed Russian T-90M Breakthrough in the Pokrovsk direction. Russian President Vladimir Putin once claimed the T-90 is the best tank in the world, touting its advanced armor and firepower. However, the ongoing war in Ukraine has exposed its vulnerabilities. Dozens of T-90s have been destroyed or captured, often by advanced Western-supplied weapons like Javelin and NLAW missiles or Ukrainian drones. Videos show these tanks exploding or abandoned on the battlefield, challenging Putin's bold assertions and highlighting the harsh realities of modern warfare. 3 Ukrainian Leopard 2 A4 tanks with Contact 1 explosive reactive armor and metal mesh for drone defense spotted. It seems that drone cages will be a part of every tank in the world in the future. A Russian soldier, reportedly in the Kursk direction, highlights a new type of mine, allegedly used by Ukrainian forces, claiming it is more effective than the Lepidstock. What is it?
This little thing here, you step on it, and it triggers better than a petal. Be careful, brothers. There are leaves scattered all over here, like a lot in the leaves. Around here, there's a broken one. I don't know how this metal detector triggers. I won't lift it to examine. And there's explosive material over there. It snaps and injures the leg, tears through the boots, and rips the flesh.
The Russian city of Engels in Saratov region is drowning in fecal sewage. Russian telegram channels report that a diver has come to the rescue of residents. They are complaining about sewage flowing through the streets, flooded basements and neighborhoods. Faces are leaking out and flooding walkways and children's playgrounds, messages say.
We are, of course, trying to show the scale. This is happening in the courtyard of Poltavska 1. Considering that there hasn't been any precipitation in recent days, you all understand what this means. And this is the basement of the house at Poltavska 1. Remember, that's where there's tubing in the basement, like a sledding hill. They seem to have fixed the heating, but why is the basement flooded? Now, we showed what's happening outside. Of course, I won't be going down there right now. Just here at the entrance, we're not going to measure the depth of this puddle. We'll just show it, it's somewhere over there, closer to, I don't know, its beginning, about ankle deep. They told me, let's go look at the manhole, and I didn't even realize it was that at first. Is everything clear, right?
The U.S. Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control took another major step in implementing commitments made by G7 leaders to curtail Russia's use of the international financial system to further its war against Ukraine. OFAC's action includes the designation of Gazprom Bank, more than 50 internationally connected Russian banks, more than 40 Russian securities registrars, and 15 Russian finance officials. OFAC is also issuing an alert describing sanctions risks related to Russia's system for transfer of financial messages, which the Kremlin created and uses to evade sanctions. Today's sanctions targeting Russia's largest remaining non-designated bank, as well as dozens of other financial institutions and officials in Russia, will further diminish and degrade Russia's war machine. This sweeping action will make it harder for the Kremlin to evade U.S. sanctions and fund and equip its military, said Secretary of the Treasury Janet L. Yellen. We will continue to take decisive steps against any financial channels Russia uses to support its illegal and unprovoked war in Ukraine.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.